And welcome. Today we are diving deep into the world of SAP S4Hana to unpack two incredibly important make-to-order strategies, Strategy 20 and Strategy 50. We're going to break down how they work, when you should use them, and really get into the key differences that can totally make or break your production process. Let's get right into it. So let's start with a classic problem, right? A customer comes to you, they want something special, something custom. How in the world do you build it for them without your warehouse being stuffed to the gills with expensive finished products that might never sell? This is the exact puzzle that make-to-order strategies were born to solve. All right, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with that custom order challenge. Then we'll do a deep dive into Strategy 20. After that, we'll get into the hybrid approach with Strategy 50. And finally, we'll put them side by side to help you figure out which one is the right choice for your business. Okay, so let's really set the stage here. The whole point of make-to-order is all about being efficient and offering customization. You need a system that can handle these unique customer demands without all the ways that comes from just building stuff and hoping it sells. You know, at its heart, the idea is super simple. If there's no sales order, there's no production. That's it. It creates this direct, unbroken link between what a customer wants and what happens on your factory floor. And this leads us right into our first key strategy. And that direct, straightforward approach, well, in the world of SAP, we call that Strategy 20. You can think of this as the pure textbook definition of make-to-order. The key word here, and I really want you to remember this, is exclusively. With Strategy 20, that sales order is everything. It's the starting gun that kicks off the entire supply chain for that one specific product. You don't build a single thing in anticipation. So the flow is about as straightforward as it gets. An order comes in, you start making it or buying the parts for it, and then you deliver it. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's tied one-to-one with actual customer demand. Okay, but here's where things get a little more nuanced, a little more interesting. Even inside this super simple flow, you've got a really critical decision to make about your components. And that decision all comes down to one tiny piece of master data, the individual/collective indicator. Now, this tiny setting in your material master, it has a huge impact. If you set it to 1 for individual requirement, that component is treated just like the final product. It's bought or made specifically for that one sales order. But if you set it to 2 for collective, the system is smart. It pools the demand for that component from lots of different orders and just plans it for general stock. This table right here is a perfect example. Let's walk through it. The finished good, of course, is tied to a specific sales order. We'll call it Sales Order A. Now, look at Assembly A. It's set to individual, so it gets procured just for Sales Order A. But then you see Component X. It's set to collective, so the system just says, hey, I need one of these, and pulls it from the general pile. This one little setting gives you so much control. So Strategy 20 sounds great, right? It's simple, direct, but there's a catch. What happens if one of your key components, just one part, has a 6-month lead time? If you wait for the customer's order to come in before you even start procuring that part, well, your customer is going to be waiting a very, very long time. And that's not good. So what do? Well, the answer is you plan ahead. And that is precisely what SAP Strategy 50 is designed for. It's the perfect solution for when you need to build a custom product, but you just can't afford to wait on those long lead time components. Think of Strategy 50 as this brilliant hybrid. It's kind of like getting the best of both worlds. You use forecasting to get all your important components and subassemblies ready to go, sitting in your warehouse. But, and this is the important part, you absolutely do not perform that final assembly until you have a real customer order in your hands. So how does this actually work? How does the system manage to plan ahead but not build the final product? Let's break down the mechanics of this two-phase approach. You can really see the magic here, split into 2 phases. Before any sales order exists, you're in the pre-sales order phase. You forecast your demand, you run MRP, and you get your components ready. Then, boom, a customer order comes in. That order consumes the forecast, and now you're in the post-sales order phase. You run MRP again, and this time it creates that final assembly order, so you can build and ship the product. It's such a smart way to balance planning with being responsive. And here, this is the secret sauce. This is what makes Strategy 50 so clever. Those planned orders that get created from your forecast are a very special type. They have an order type of VP. You can think of them as virtual planning orders. They're powerful enough to drive all the procurement and production for the components underneath them, but the system puts a hard stop on them. You literally cannot convert them into a production order for the final product. It's a fantastic failsafe. All right, so now we've got our two main players. Strategy 20, the pure reactive approach, and Strategy 50, the proactive hybrid approach. Let's put them head to head so the choice becomes crystal clear. It really all boils down to one thing, the trigger, what kicks off the process. For Strategy 20, it's a real sales order, period. For Strategy 50, it's a forecast, a planned independent requirement. That single difference is what should guide your entire decision. This little matrix is your cheat sheet, really. It makes the decision super clear. If you're building a fully custom product and all your components are easy to get quickly, Strategy 20 is perfect. It's lean, it's efficient. But the second you introduce components that take a long time to arrive, Strategy 50 becomes the hero. Why? Because it drastically cuts down the delivery time for your customer. It's also fantastic when most of the cost and customization happens right at the very end, in that final assembly step. And that's really what I want to leave you with. This choice between Strategy 20 and 50, it's not just a technical SAP setting. It's a fundamental business decision. It defines how agile your supply chain is, and at the end of the day, it determines how quickly and how reliably you can get that custom product into your customer's hands.
All right,